I never thought I'd find myself in a place like this, caught between worlds I thought I'd left behind forever. It all started the weekend I never saw coming. I was with my best friend's brother, Marcus. He's older, twice my age, divorced, and always seemed off limits, a forbidden fruit I kept at arm's length. But that weekend, everything changed. We'd been alone in her cabin, high in the mountains, with only the crackle of the fireplace and the wind whispering outside to break the silence. His hand brushed mine when he reached for the bottle of wine, and I swear I felt a jolt go through me. I froze for a second, pretending it was nothing, but his gaze lingered a little too long, and suddenly I realized how much I'd been ignoring the way he looked at me, like I was the only person in the world worth noticing. That night, as we sat close by the fire, I sensed the dangerous pull of something forbidden, something exciting and terrifying all at once. We talked for hours, and in that quiet, secret space, I saw the hints of a vulnerability he'd never shown anyone else. I knew then that I was crossing a line, but I couldn't stop myself. The taste of his breath, warm and slightly smoky, stayed with me long after he'd gone to bed. Long after I'd fallen asleep, with the faint echo of his voice still ringing in my ears. My life was stable. I had a good job, a loving marriage, and a circle of friends I trusted. I cherished the routine, the sense of security that kept me grounded. Every morning, I'd wake up to the smell of freshly brewed coffee and the soft warmth of my husband's arm around me. We had built a life together, quiet but steady, filled with small joys, weekend trips, Sunday brunches, quiet nights watching movies. I loved my husband. He was kind, dependable, the kind of man you could count on, and I thought I had everything I needed. But beneath that, there was a part of me that felt restless, yearning for something I couldn't quite name until Marcus. That weekend, I felt a thrill I'd forgotten existed, a dangerous temptation that whispered in my ear. I convinced myself it was just a fleeting distraction, a harmless curiosity. But then, the accidental touch in the dim light of the cabin, the lingering look when he thought I wasn't watching. Those moments stirred something deep inside me. I started to ask myself if I'd been living too cautiously, if I'd been hiding parts of myself that deserved to be loved fully. And then came the moment that shattered everything, the event that pushed me into chaos. I walked into our bedroom to find her bag packed and a note on the dresser. "I'm sorry, but I'm done." My heart sank like a stone. My mind spun with questions I didn't want to ask. How long had she been planning this? Was I somehow responsible? The metallic taste of tears burned my throat as I watched her silhouette disappear through the door, leaving behind an echo of her footsteps in the hollow silence that followed. The house felt enormous, empty, haunted by memories I couldn't escape. My world crumbled in those moments, my heart pounding in my chest, my stomach twisting with rage, jealousy, and profound loss. I wanted to scream, to cry, to run away from the pain. Instead, I sank to the floor, clutching my knees. Feeling the coldness of despair seep into my bones, I hated that I was left behind, betrayed and betrayed again, trapped in a whirlwind of heartbreak. I couldn't help but think about Marcus, about the way he looked at me during that weekend, the unspoken promises in his eyes. Could I tell him how I felt? Would he feel the same? I didn't know. But suddenly, he was the only person who seemed to understand the storm raging inside me. It started as a secret hope, a fragile thread of connection, an email, a shared glance across the office, a text message late at night that made my heart race. I knew it was dangerous, that I was treading on forbidden ground, but I couldn't resist. The more I tried to push away my feelings, the stronger they grew. I found myself longing for a voice that could understand my pain, my confusion, my desire. Sometimes I'd catch myself imagining what it would be like if I just let go, if I allowed myself to feel alive again, completely, dangerously alive. And then, just when I thought I was sinking into despair, I received a message that changed everything. If this confession has you on the edge of your seat, hit like and share, because you will not believe what happens next. My stomach clenched as I read it, knowing that this secret was pulling me further into a world I'd never fully explored before. I hesitated, then replied cautiously, unsure of where this would lead. That small step ignited a fire I couldn't put out. Marcus and I started talking more carefully, secretly, but with each word, I felt the walls around my heart begin to crumble. We shared stories of pain and longing, of regrets and hopes. His voice, warm and reassuring, made me feel seen in a way I hadn't in years. I knew I was risking everything, my marriage, my reputation, my peace, but I was also discovering parts of myself I buried deep. I wondered if this forbidden love was my second chance at happiness, a chance to heal the wounds of the past and finally embrace what I truly wanted. Sometimes I'd lie awake at night, feeling the ghost of his touch, hearing his voice echoing in my mind, and realizing that love, even when forbidden, can be the most honest thing we ever feel. I was falling, fiercely and irrevocably, into a passion I wasn't prepared for, but couldn't deny. Every stolen moment, every secret message, every glance shared in the shadows made me feel alive again. I knew I was teetering on the edge, risking everything I'd built, but it also felt like I was finally waking up from a long, dull sleep. If this confession has you holding your breath, please like, share, and subscribe, because you will not believe what happens next. Our story is only just beginning, and I'm learning that sometimes the greatest love stories are born from the most forbidden places. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know that I've found something precious, something worth fighting for, and I promise I won't stop until I see where this love can take me. If you crave more raw, emotional confessions, please like, share, and subscribe. Your next chapter awaits.